Hello everyone, I'm Rod Wortham and welcome to this episode of Raceface Driver Updates here on Racing America. We had a busy weekend of racing that saw 11 drivers in action competing in 16 different races in 8 different states. So let's get right to the results. We had 4 drivers competing at Watkins Glen International on the 2.45 mile, 7-turn road course in both the ARCA Racing Series and the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So it only made sense to feature the Glen in this week's track lap with Fast Pasta.
Hey everybody, Anthony Alfredo here, and I'm going to take you for a lap around Watkins Glen on iRacing ahead of this weekend's race. We're going to come onto the front straightaway here to start our lap. Build a ton of momentum to head down the hill into turn 1. Very challenging braking zone since there's not as much load on the car. We're going to downshift to second, hit this apex curb and throttle up right in the compression of it. Use as much as this exit as we need to carry momentum. Then into turn 2 to set up for the S's. Use that compression, stay track right to set up for this left-hander. Gets so light over the hill right there, it's so sketchy. The S's are so fast and narrow, but still in the throttle. Heading down the back straightaway into the bus stop, one of my personal favorites. You can just clobber these curves with all 4 tires. It's a blast. Try to straight line as much as possible. And then one of the most tricky parts of the racetrack, the carousel. You gotta make sure your car handles well through here. But the good news is you can use up all this exit if you're struggling with drive off. And get back to the right on the short suit to set up for the final couple corners. Such a fast track. The balance of your car is so important to be able to make passes and optimize your day. Back onto the straightaway right here, close to that left side outside wall. And that's a lap around Watkins Glen. It's gonna be an action-packed weekend. Hope you all enjoy it.
Thanks, Anthony. So let's get right to the results, and we start off with Anthony Alfredo, who qualified his number 23 Our Motorsports Death Wish Coffee Chevrolet in 26. The team had an up and down day. They finished stage 1 in 17th, stage 2 in 13th, and ran as high as 7th. We caught up with Anthony after the race.
Sorry for the delay in the post-race. As soon as I got out of the car today, I was asked to spot the number 3 Cup car tomorrow for Austin Dillon and his guys, so look forward to being a part of that. Happy to do so. But as far as our race today, got spun very early on in the race, drove all the way back up inside the top 15, got spun again very late in the race, and drove all the way back up to what was going to be a top 15 finish at the very end, but had to avoid a car that was turning around and head-on traffic, so lost a couple spots coming to the line. But not too bad a day. The left rear chain link broke with about 10 laps to go too, so all in all, to be able to salvage that with the issue in the rear end isn't too bad of a day. So thank you, Death Wish Coffee, for coming on board. Proud to have him on my Chevrolet Camaro again. Pit stops for Hope as well.
Up next for Anthony, the high banks of Daytona International Speedway on Saturday. Sheldon Creed was also at the Glen in his number 2 Richard Childress Whelen Engineering Chevrolet. Sheldon qualified 11th, finished stage 1 in 8th, stage 2 in 6th, and was racing for the lead in the closing laps before several late race cautions, some crazy restarts resulted in a top 10 finish of 8th. Sheldon heads into this weekend's race at Daytona, 13th in points, 1 position below the cut line. There are only 4 races left before the playoffs start in Texas on September 24th, and Sheldon may need a win to advance. Connor Mozak made his second NASCAR Xfinity start of the year in his number 26 Rad Cats Toyota for Sam Hunt Racing. Connor put up the 13th fastest time in qualifying and finished in 15th. We caught up with Connor back in Charlotte for his take on the weekend.
Overall, I feel like we had a good day. The Xfinity car, we had probably about a 10th place car most of the day, and we were really close to qualifying in the top 10. Just found something on my first lap and went out there and went faster on my second lap, but just didn't have the grip we needed. So I think had I put in the right lap the first time, we would have probably been about 8th or 9th there qualifying, which I think would have been really good. And then made a couple of mistakes early in the race, just kind of learning my way, around those guys. And I feel like once we kind of settled in our groove and got rolling, we were, making our way back to the field a little bit. And, we probably were running about 10th to 12th most of the day. I feel like we were a little bit better than the guys in front of us. It was just hard to catch them by the time we got strung out. And we were oftentimes not in the best places on the restarts, but we were able to make up a few spots as well sometimes. And then unfortunately we had to pit with 5 to go with the right front tire coming apart. So I think we came from 26th to 15th there in like 4 laps. So that was a lot of fun, kind of carving back to the field, but would have been nice to have a few more laps. But overall, I feel like it was a good day. Had a pretty good showing and good speed for the car we were in. So overall, happy with it. Had a lot of fun and hope we get to do it again.
Up next for Connor, ARCA Menards Series Spreacher 150 on the famous Milwaukee Mile on Sunday. You can catch all of the action on flowracing.com at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we check in on Jesse Love, who pulled double duty on the pavement and then on the dirt, but in the same series. The second part of Connor Mozak's double weekend, and Joey East back in the ARCA West Series. Can the Beast find victory lane in Washington? We'll find out when we return with more Raceface driver updates here on Racing America.
Hi, my name is Cassidy Hines, and you're watching Raceface Driver Updates on Racing America.
Jesse Love pulled double duty, first at Watkins Glen International on Friday for the General Tire Deliveries 100. Jesse qualified 5th and brought home a podium finish in 3rd. Jesse then made the trip from New York to Illinois for the Atlas 100 ARCA Dirt Race on the Springfield Mile. Rain canceled qualifying, and Jesse was awarded the pole based on owner's point. Jesse took the green in his number 20 Crescent Tool JBL.com Toyota and led every lap in the race that was shortened due to time and a violent wreck on the last lap that brought out a red flag, ending the race. Let's check in with Jesse.
Hey everyone, it's Jesse Love. I just got back to my house in North Carolina after the win today at the Springfield Mile. Started the weekend off running 3rd at Watkins Glen, had a pretty good points day there, and then obviously came to Springfield today. Steve Kinser's shirt in hand and picked up the win. There's a flag right there. The trophy's on the way back from Springfield Mile. So looking forward to potentially 3 races in the next coming 7 days. So I'm looking forward to announcing that pretty soon. And obviously just had a great JBL.com Toyota Camry today. So happy to get the win today and kind of get us rolling in the right direction.
Up next for Jesse is the Milwaukee Mile on August 28th. Connor Mozak was at Watkins Glen as well for the ARCA Menards General Tire 100. Connor qualified his number 23 Brett Holmes entry in 3rd. Let's check in with the driver for the recap.
Well, it was kind of a tough race for us in the ARCA race on Friday up at Watkins Glen. I feel like we had good speed. We really were probably a 3rd place car, maybe 4th place car most of the race. And we pretty much ran in 3rd or 4th for the whole race. We were battling hard for 3rd a lot with the 81 car, and I feel like we were a little bit better than him, especially the second half of the race. We were a little off, and then we made a good adjustment at the halfway break, and we were on the wrong line on the restart and then got put back and forth. We were running them back down there, and then we got a late caution, and on the last restart, I guess he just didn't realize I was still there on his outside into turn 2, and it put us in the fence pretty hard and ended our day. So unfortunate end. I feel like we needed a good finish there, but we'll be back at Milwaukee next weekend.
That was a tough one. His first DNF in the year in 9 starts. Connor has 6 top 5s and 8 top 10s in 9 starts. heading to the Milwaukee Mile on Sunday. Joey East was at Evergreen Speedway in Monroe, Washington, in his number 54, the Ag Center 59, Richwood Meets, Nate Clower Motorsports prepared Ford. Joey qualified 6th, ran in the top 5 for most of the race, and battled with Jake Drew for 2nd in the closing laps, eventually bringing home a 3rd place finish. We caught up with Joey on Sunday for his take on the race.
Hey everyone, this weekend I raced Evergreen Speedway, and it was my first time racing there at that track, and we had a really good time racing there. And in practice qualifying, we had an hour and a half, and I ended up in 6th position in that. So we started the race in 6th, and during the beginning of the race, so we kind of battled for 5th place for a while, and I was eventually able to get up to 5th. And then before the halfway break, I was able to move my spot into the 4th position. And then there's a few cautions, and I kind of battled between 3rd and 5th for a lot of the race right there towards the middle of the race. And we're 4th at the halftime break. And then we got there for the next 75 laps. And then towards about 30 to go, we were able to move our way into 3rd position. And we fought our way trying to get to 2nd position, but we just ran out of laps and couldn't quite get it done, and ended the race in 3rd place. And we couldn't do it without Mike Nake and Nate Clower Motorsports and all my sponsors, the Ag Center, Ag Solutions Network, Pasilla Ranch, Richwood Meat, and everyone who helps me in everything I do.
Up next for Joey, ARCA Road Racing at Portland International Raceway on September 3rd. We're headed for another commercial break, and when we return, we'll catch up with Caden Honeycutt, slinging some dirt in Oklahoma, Casey Klein, super late model racing at State Line Speedway, and Hudson Bulger at Chris Motorsports Park for the Georgia Summer Nationals. All of that and more when we return with more Raceface driver updates here on Racing America.
Hi, my name's Brody Moore, and you're watching Raceface Driver Updates on Racing America.
Welcome back. Caden Honeycutt had a week off, so what does a racer do? He races. Caden made the trip back to Texas to sling a little dirt in his dirt late model at Southern Oklahoma Speedway. Caden qualified 2nd, finished 2nd in his heat race, and parked it in victory lane in the A main. We caught up with Caden right after the race.
Hey everybody, it's Caden Honeycutt here. Just got done with another late model race. Another win. We picked up another win tonight here at Southern Oklahoma Speedway. Traveled back home from North Carolina and decided to bring out the late model. We got it done. Finished 2nd in our 8, qualified 2nd. Had the good starting wing on the top, running around the brim, and we brought home the victory. I led every lap. I can't thank my mom and dad, my girlfriend for their support, my help tonight, Shane Turner and Derek Burton. All of our sponsors, Reaver Speed Lab, Supreme Vinyl Works, it's everybody that helps me on this. KLGL Performance, Longhorn Racing Chassis, and we just, this thing's on a rail, 4 for 4, and hopefully I'll get to come back home. We're going to race it September 3rd and the 4th at RPM Speedway, and we're going to give that another crack. So we're going to take this beauty of a trophy home to check whenever it gets here, and head back to Texas and have a good time, celebrate this one, and be back on work Mondays with our Rangeland number 30 On Point Motorsports racing machine. So we're going to get her ready for stuff for Kansas, and we'll see you guys then.
Congratulations, Caden. Up next, Cars Tour. Caden currently 2nd in points, heading into this weekend's race at Motor Mile Speedway on Saturday. Casey Klein was at State Line Speedway in Post Falls, Idaho for the Liberty Launch Academy 125 Northwest Super Late Model Series race. Let's go right to the driver for his recap on the race.
Hi, I'm Casey Klein. This weekend I was racing at State Line Speedway in the Northwest Super Late Model Series. It was a 125 lap race. I had an okay car in practice. We were just struggling with being tight out of the corner. And in qualifying, I qualified 12th. In the race, I had a little incident and I got sent to the back, but I ended up getting a top 10. But I'd like to thank all my sponsors, Thamet Farms, Mountain View Players, Sporty Steakhouse, Farmer Bean and Seed, Klein's Auto Sale, Friends of Jacqueline, and Race Face Advancement.
Up next for Casey is round 7 of the 5150 Junior Late Model Series this Saturday at Madera Speedway. Casey currently sets second in points with 3 rounds remaining. Hudson Bulger was at Chris Motorsports Park for the Georgia Summer Nationals in his number 17 Can-Am Byron Outdoor Superstore Legends car. The Nationals featured races on both Friday and Saturday. Hudson qualified 3rd and finished 6th on Friday, and qualified 7th and finished 5th on Saturday. Up next for Hudson, Atlanta Motor Speedway on September the 10th. Cassidy Hind was scheduled to compete at Colorado National Speedway in her pro truck. She managed to get in some practice, but unfortunately, just before the race was ready to start, rain moved in and the rest of the evening's events were canceled. We're headed for our last commercial break, and when we come back, we'll check in on Cole Denton at Chris Motorsports Park, Carter Whalen and Landon Cox at Huntsville QMA. We'll be right back with more Raceface driver updates here on Racing America.
Hi, my name is Grant Thompson, and you're watching Raceface driver updates on Racing America.
Welcome back. Cole Denton was at Chris Motorsports Park for the Georgia Summer Nationals in his number 46 Mellow Yellow Bandolero for 2 days of racing. On day 1, Cole finished 2nd and then repeated that on day 2 with another 2nd place finish. Up next for Cole, Atlanta Motor Speedway on September the 10th. Carter Whalen was competing in the 4th round of the Dixie Shootout Regional Series at Huntsville QMA. We caught up with Carter back in Georgia for his take on the weekend.
Hey guys, just got back from round 4 of the Dixie Shootout Regional Series at HQMA. Heavy Honda started P6, drove a really good race, ended up finishing P2, finally got luck on our side this weekend. In Heavy World Formula, we were unable to start the A-Main due to lots of damage on the car from the heat race. Got in a pretty bad wreck and we just didn't have the time to fix it. Heavy 160 car was really good in the heat race, like I said. In the start of the race, the car felt a little weird, and then throughout the race, the car just progressively got worse. I believe I ended up finishing 8th. It was just, the car felt really weird. Can't thank all my sponsors enough. Landon Cox Racing, the entire Cox family, Ultimate QM, A1 Auto Course, Mark Tuggle RV, and Conquest Strategic Marketing.
Up next for Carter, Darlington Raceway on September the 2nd and 3rd. Landon Cox was at Huntsville QMA for the Dixie Shootout Regional Race, where he put all 3 cars into the A mains, finishing 5th in Junior Honda in a 17-car field, 2nd in Junior Animal, and parked his Junior 160 in Victory Lane, leading every lap and recording his first Dixie Shootout victory. Up next for Landon, USAC Nationals at Darlington Raceway on September 2nd and 3rd. Raceface is excited to announce a new product that will be coming out in September, Raceface Digital Trading Cards, and it's open to all drivers. Check out this video. So if you're ready to take your brand into the digital world, Raceface Digital is your answer. Remember, pre-enrollment is now open to all drivers. Go to racefacedigital.com, click on the pre-enrollment button, fill out the form, and when you come to the invite code, use DIGI, D-I-G-I. There is no money due for pre-enrollment, so be one of the first 150 drivers and lock in your discounted price. Other Raceface drivers seeing action this weekend include Cassidy Hind returns to Colorado National Speedway in her number 3C Super Late Model on Saturday, if we can keep Mother Nature away. Brody Moore will be at Madera Speedway in his number 78 Garage Condos Junior Late Model for the round 7 of the 5150 Junior Late Model Series, where he is currently 4th in points. Grant Thompson will be at Mobile International Speedway in the number 21 Sotex Motorsports Outlaw Late Model on Saturday. Well, that's it for this week's Raceface Driver Updates. And remember, if you've missed any of our shows, you can get caught up at raceface.tv on demand. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Make sure to check out Speed Zone Race Store for the latest in apparel. As always, we encourage you to support local racing in your communities. We'll be back next week with more from your favorite Raceface drivers. So go out there, have a great race week. I'm Rod Wortham. Thanks for watching.